Yes, I can.
All right, so sorry, my laptop's not connecting to the screen here. So we have a quick presentation from Miss Camay. Last Friday I got to go to Seattle because Miss Camay had a gala, a fashion gala. She had a fashion show and she raised some money, and she was offering to donate the money that she earned to or raised to the coalition. So wanted to give her an opportunity to kind of tell you a little bit about her and her cause, and she's going to tell us how much money she raised for us. So go ahead, Camay, take it away.
Well, thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much for plugging me in, and thank you so much to everyone in attendance today who's present and who is here to stand with us in breaking the silence around workplace bullying and exhaust all efforts through education and legislation. Thank you so much for having me. I want to start off by just giving you all a little bit of background about my experience with workplace bullying so that you can fully understand the purpose behind Ms. Camay's Black Tie Fashion Gala. Last year, I was working in a legal office and staff counsel office, and I've been a legal professional for 12 years. I love the industry. I really appreciate having the opportunity to make a difference for people, especially in litigation. And had been in my job for 3 years, received great reviews, received merit increases, was excelling very well in my role until a new lead counsel came into our office. And over a progression of about 8 months, I was being horribly bullied in the workplace. And at the time, I really didn't understand what was happening. I was addressing issues that were being brought to my attention. HR was involved in the situation. And I really felt like I was simply defending myself or defending my position. And it all got very real for me when I found myself in the hospital, hooked up to an EKG machine, fighting for my life. And it was at that moment that I really realized that there was something much, much bigger happening than I even wanted to honestly admit. And my doctor pulled me out of my environment in December of last year. And that's when I really started researching workplace bullying. Being in the legal field, working in personal injury, working in insurance defense, and understanding the dynamics of litigation regarding civil litigation lawsuits, I just knew that it had to be illegal. I just knew it had to be illegal. And much to my dismay, the research that I found was that it was very legal. Not only in Washington State, here where I live, but in many states in our country. And so in my research, I found the National Workplace Bullying Coalition, and I spent, I think, 3 days in a row. I was up, I don't want to say for 3 days in a row, but I was up for a considerable amount of time because I actually was finding research and videos and testimonies all over social media and all over the internet about workplace bullying and the mental health effects that it has on an individual who suffers from that environment. And I was instantly validated. I finally found something that validated how I was feeling and validated what I was going through and was actually explaining what I was experiencing to me. And at that time, I decided that I needed to break the silence. The thing that was most horrifying to me was the silence around workplace bullying. The adult that were afraid to speak out about being bullied in their workplace, the lives that were being taken, people committing suicide, grown adults, husbands, wives, sisters, mothers, who were actually taking their own life to stop being bullied in the workplace. And I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to speak out and do something about it. And at the time, I wasn't really sure what that looked like for me. I'm a national title holder in plus size pageantry. I'm also a full figure model. And so I've been walking on these platforms for several years. I knew I wanted to bring fashion to Seattle because the platform didn't exist here. I knew I wanted to bring an event to Seattle and highlight, that women with curves are real people too. I also wanted to highlight big and tall men because they're very unrepresented on those platforms. But at the time when I was, really planning this event, I didn't have the cause. I didn't have, the message for the event. I didn't want to just put on another fashion show. And in the middle of being just broken, very introverted, being a public figure, I'm always out in the public, I'm always connecting with people, empowering women, empowering the communities around me, and I found myself completely isolated. And I had a conversation with my executive producer for my event, and she said to me in this meeting, she said, "You have to do something. You've got to talk about this. You've got to let your community know that this is going on. You're in law. You have to do something. You can't just be silent." And the light came on. And I knew that I could put on an event and I could bring the community together with fashion and entertainment and really share this message. I connected with the National Workplace Bullying Coalition. I reached out to them. I told them what I wanted to do. I wanted to make them my charity of choice for this event. The event was planned all year. We started planning in January of this year, and the event, the gala actually happened last Friday. It was very successful. We did raise a small amount of money for the coalition that we will be donating. I want to partner with the coalition in breaking the silence around workplace bullying and changing the law through education and legislation. And I know that the difficult task at hand for us, but we have to do it. We can no longer accept the treatment that we are receiving in our workplace. We spend so much time there, we dedicate our lives, we have ownership and passion for our careers and the jobs that we have, and we can no longer be silent about this. The reason why I chose the coalition is because I recognize their valiant efforts, and it really touched me, touched my heart, it touched my spirit in the fact that they're a new organization and leading our country in changing the law. And that's really where I'm at. This is the beginning of my journey. I can share my own personal testimony, to educate people and break the silence. We've had a great community response, but our work is not done yet. There are many people who are still very, very scared and afraid to talk about them being bullied in the workplace. And the only way that we are going to make change is for us to join together, join our forces together, and magnify our voices by giving our community a safe platform to stand on and talk about what they've gone through. My mother once told me, the power's in the people. And we can take, all of our government, all of our, law enforcement, our military, we can combine all of, our government, all of our government officials in one room. And if we take the people of the community, the rest of the community around the world, we outnumber them. The power's in the people, but the problem is that we can't, as communities, as the people, we can't come together and agree. We can't stand, on a platform and agree on one topic, and that's where the issue is. And I'm confident. I'm confident in the ability of the National Workplace Bullying Coalition. I'm also very, very confident in Mr. Antonio Touche Parkinson's efforts as well. I know he's there in the audience. I can see him. Hi, how are you? Legislative priorities are still economic and workforce development, and his passion for quality health and education and safe communities for the families, not just in Tennessee, but in our country as a whole. We can lead by setting the example, by standing up and working through education and legislation to make a change. Something that Mr. Parkinson had said in my research that I found on him, he made a comment that we do not have to accept subpar communities overrun with crime and other deplorable conditions. And he's right. He's absolutely right. We don't have to accept what they're handing us. We can push it back to them, and we can say, no, we're not going to accept this. This is what we want. This is how we want to do it. I'm standing with you all today. This is the beginning of my journey. I want to be a pillar in the community. I want to be somebody who can produce results. I want to empower people on this topic and give people a safe platform to share their experience, as well as give them resources and direct them to people or organizations that can actually help them with their particular situation. I honestly think that if I would not have found the National Workplace Bullying Coalition in my research, I don't think I would really honestly be here today. I don't want to say that NWBC saved my life, but they helped give me hope. They helped give me a louder voice. They helped bring me out of the darkness that I was in at the time. And having Catherine come out to the event on Friday, she looked fabulous. For those of you who haven't seen any of the images, you can find us on Facebook, Breaking the Silence Around Workplace Bullying. She was definitely dressed the part. Something that she said to me, and I just want to close with this. She said that adults who are bullied in the workplace, they respond the way a child does when they're bullied in school. And she said it with a strong sense of emotion in her voice, and she was actually emotional when she shared the message. And she's exactly right. We're adults, we're grown adults, we've gone through life, we've gone through experiences. But when we're bullied in the workplace and when we're beat down, we respond like children do, including committing suicide. So we as a community can no longer accept this. We have to stand together, we have to join forces, and we have to magnify our voices to make change and create this law that will make this illegal in our state. I'm here for any of you who want to connect with me. I have just been appointed as the president of newshine.org from the involvement with my event. So I'm very, very excited to get involved and make a difference in my communities. I thank you all so much for listening to me and allowing me to share my story. Thank you so much, Catherine, for partnering with me. All of the board members and everyone that works with the National Workplace Bullying Coalition, thank you so much for believing in me and believing in this message and allowing me to join you on this platform of making bullying in the workplace illegal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Camay. We'll be in touch, all right? Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.